Good morning out here in Asia as we continue on Squawk Box. Looks like we've got a nice lead for markets this side of the world. U.S. stocks popped overnight. The Dow up 71, the S&P up 9, the NASDAQ up 20, led by telcos, also small caps. And guess what, folks? Retail money. Joe Sixpack is back in the market. We'll talk more about that in just a bit. Yu-Dee Chang joins us now, Principal and Chief Advisor, ACE Investment Strategist. He joins us live out of Washington, D.C. Before we go any further, Yu-Dee, good to see you and thank you for your time. David Sokol resigning from Berkshire Hathaway, over his buys of Lubrizol shares before this deal was done, $9 billion, of course. Is this more a case of not so much that he couldn't have bought the shares, I mean legally there's nothing stopping him, but that given that he was taking the lead in early negotiations to try and to get Lubrizol into the Berkshire Hathaway portfolio, he shouldn't have?
There's no doubt about that. You know, being in a position like that, that is something that you really should exercise some discretion, right? So maybe, like you said, maybe legally speaking, there's nothing he's done wrong, but that is under suspicion that he is front-running the stock itself. So yeah, so I actually, think, he has done something that he really shouldn't have.
Yeah. Yu-Dee, I just want to read you a comment from a reader on the Wall Street Journal blog. He made this very interesting point. Sokol buying shares, then convincing Buffett to buy the company is aligned interest. If Sokol had bought shares with knowledge of Buffett's plans, that's a different kettle of fish. Do you agree?
Correct. I absolutely do agree. I think Buffett actually made a statement coming out and saying that, well, he bought the shares before he came to me. However, he didn't really know whether me, Buffett, would be interested in doing the deal with the company or not. So it's a little bit different than insider trading. However, like I said, being in a position like that, he should have really tried everything to avoid the suspicion of front running. And that's what he's done wrong. And also, if you think about it, throughout the years, how many times have we heard about the people in succession of Buffett has actually left the post? So if I were anybody around Buffett, I would take extra caution rather than doing something like that. I was
going to say, I mean, this is not this is a pretty smart guy. He ran NetJets. He turned it around for Buffett. This was almost like a company that was almost in the tank. Ran Mid-America, the utility as well. And then he goes and does this when he's the heir apparent. I mean, what was this guy thinking?
Yeah, seriously, what was he thinking? Well, I guess there's a couple of ways to think about this. One is greed, right? Well, the other point is that maybe he does like the company, that's why he bought it, and then afterwards he liked it so much, he actually wanted to bring it to his boss to do a good deal on it. So, I mean, it's hard to say. Like I said, legally, exactly. But you know what? Like I said, if I were him, I'd be thinking I'm the emperor's son, right? So without me being the actual emperor, man, any day I might get killed. So I need to be extra cautious.
Do you think this raises broader questions about the takeover of Lubrizol anyway? The fact that Buffett wasn't interested first up and then he was almost convinced down the line by Sokol to purchase the company? Do you think it raises broader takeover questions?
You know, that is interesting. I actually have not heard about that, but I'm sure that, in him bringing the deal to Buffett, I'm sure he's trying to pull all the stops, trying to convince his boss that it's a good deal. Of course, eventually Buffett did like it. So, that's why it goes all back to, no, it's not really insider trading. It's not front running. However, it's the suspicion of that. And that, working for Buffett, especially being the possible heir apparent, is just not something that you're supposed to do. And he's paying the price for it.
What a story. I guess, look, hopefully we'll get some answers tonight. We're going to be talking to Warren Buffett himself, the Oracle of Omaha, right here on CNBC.
Well, a timely interview, isn't it?
Indeed, yeah.
Yu-Dee Chang from ACE Investment Strategies, thank you so much for joining us today. And coming up, Australian rare earth producer announcing a strategic